Ladies and gentlemen, can you hear me okay? Yes? Oh, I think so. Too much, I think. Good afternoon and welcome to Troon Portland Church for the first Troon Boys Brigade Pipe Band in concert. It's going to be a long afternoon if we keep that level of audience participation up, so we're going to need to up it a wee bit. Thank you very much to everybody for coming out today on such a wet afternoon. It's great to see so many people here today supporting the band. My name is Jamie, and as you'll probably have noticed, I'll be playing and comparing for you today. When Chris suggested that I do the presentation, I didn't think that would mean I would have to play as well, but that was probably a bit naive of me, knowing Chris and knowing this band. I'd like to also welcome particularly the Provost and Deputy Provost of South Ayrshire, Provost Ian Campbell, and Councillor Mary Kilpatrick for joining us today. We've got a great afternoon ahead of a mix of modern and traditional music, and I'll just be nipping down here to speak every now and then to let the boys catch their breath, because as much as it doesn't look it, you wouldn't know it by looking at them, but it is actually quite hard work playing the pipes. So we'll get started with our next set. Well, that was our competitive medley set there, and I'm sure you would agree that it's a pretty complicated piece of music that Chris has put together, but it's very befitting for the two-time world champions, Scottish, British, UK and European champions, and there's too many other accolades that the band has won over the years to go into just now. But it's important to note from the offset right away that learning an instrument is just like learning to drive. It doesn't happen overnight, and there's a tremendous amount of work gone into the concert today and to every event that the band does. You'll notice some of the more regular followers of the band will notice as well that we're not wearing our hats inside, because they're too. You never wear your hat inside a church, and despite a lot of the tunes being of a kind of militaristic theme, the hats are technically kind of, battle attire, so we won't be wearing them today. I do see a few faces of some of the mums who are thinking, I wish I'd brushed his hair before he came out now. But the champion of the worst haircut in the band has to go to our most senior player, Callum Thompson. Step forward, please. Step forward for a second, please, Callum. Give us a twirl so we can see. In the old days, you'd have been pinned down, and that would have been shaved off within the first night of you coming down. The band will now play our competitive competition set, which led us to victory at the branch competition at Sanker 2 weeks ago, as well as the BB Championships last week.
Just going to change the notes while we're playing this as well, just in case we're near the end.
So that was our competitive set. It was Prince Charles, Welcome to Lochaber, Mackay's Farewell to the 74th, Cora Hoyley's, and the Ranting Roving Robin. I don't know where they get these names from, but if we were making them up, they certainly might be a bit better. Our next song is Hector the Hero, and that gives me a great opportunity to introduce two heroes in our band, Mrs. Patricia Innes, who you'd have met at the front door on your way in, and Mrs. Fiona Broadley, who's going to be accompanying the boys on the piano today. The ladies are responsible for everything from the uniforms and the kit, all the admin, all the finances, so it certainly the band could not run without them. This is by a solo from Charlie McGartland. This is Hector the Hero. Well, you'll have noticed that that is now the senior band leaving the stage, and that's to make way for, well, they call themselves the real musicians of the band, but they are pretty indispensable. You couldn't have a pipe band without them, and it is, of course, the drummers. For anybody that's not been before or doesn't follow pipe bands competitively or generally, there are three types of drums: the snare drum, good, the tenor drum, and everyone's favourite, the bass drum. That's pretty much all it does. I was originally signed up to play the bass drum when I joined the band, but it was decided I was too handsome, so that's why Ewan's doing it. But in all seriousness, the drummers practice every Tuesday and Thursday, very dedicated. They've got a great team of instructors, Robert and Karen Andrew and Graham Fullerton, And they've named this their drumming fanfare for the modern man. Hello? Hello? There we go. I wasn't sure exactly at what point that was finished, so I didn't want to come up too quickly, and I think that got a few people out, but it was certainly, I think you'll all agree, very good indeed. Next up we have a trio called the Sleeping Tune. This is going to feature Pipe Major Christopher Bowen and two of our pipers, Alex McMinn and Charlie McGartland. It's by Gordon Duncan, and they'll feature Mrs. Broadley on the piano. But since they're not on the stage, I'll just keep talking about other things until they arrive. You'll have noticed as well the drone tuner going round. Pipes are a very, very temperamental instrument. comes to drums and to boys, it's very difficult to get them on and off quietly. But pipes particularly are a very temperamental instrument, and they're affected by weather and change of temperature quite significantly, so it's important to keep them well tuned. You will notice as well that maybe if you've been with the band for a long time, you'll notice that the numbers are a bit fewer than they maybe have been in the past, but COVID stopped the supply of boys coming through the Boys Brigade. But nevertheless, it's still fantastic to get so many pipers and drummers out on a regular basis. And the work ethic of the band and the instructors is really quite significant. We practice twice a week, as most of you all know. We practice twice a week, almost every week. You know, not like the teachers were there. It's only Christmas really that you get off. And sorry, that's just out cheeky to the teachers. I'm really ad-libbing here now because I'm hoping they were going to be onto the stage. Well, do you want to sing us a song? If you play me something we know, I can sing it. Mrs. Roger. Who have we got in this afternoon? Is that a section of the... Oh, they're coming. Right. Oh, my predecessor as host. The last time we had a concert in 2019, I can see Mr. Philp from the Boys Brigade who hosted it. How am I doing, would you say, Colin? Not bad? Not as good as you, though. Yeah. So this is, I'll just remind everyone, since it was so long ago I said it, this is Gordon Duncan's The Sleeping Tune, featuring Pipe Major Christopher Bone, Alex McMinn, and Charlie McGarland. Just a second, Chris. Hang on, stay there. Now, this is the moment that I personally have been waiting for quite a few weeks now. Troon Community Council every year selects its Civic Award winner for their, can you see where I'm going with this, for their years of service to the town of Troon. And can you, I don't know about you, but I couldn't think of anybody more deserving who would be less enthusiastic about actually receiving an award like this. So normally the winner would attend our community council meeting and collect the prize there, but I thought, no, that's just not quite embarrassing enough, so we're going to do it now. So, could I please welcome up the Chair of Troon Community Council, Francis Carson, and who else is coming? Fiona Gervin from Troon Community Council to present Chris with his award.
Good afternoon. I don't know if you're enjoying the afternoon, but I think it's fabulous to be surrounded by such talent that I didn't actually know I had in Troon. With the young people, I think is amazing. I have been asked along this afternoon to do a very pleasant task before my chairperson, Francis Carson, hands over an award to Chris. I'm going to read you out a little bit about the background, which so impressed the council that we decided that this year we were going to do a special award for Chris. We only give this award out not very often, so it is a very special award that we are actually giving to Chris. I'm going to read you the letter that came, and we were impressed by it, and also having known Chris, we fully supported it. In September 2025, Chris Bone celebrated 30 years as Pipe Major of the renowned 1st Boys Brigade Pipe Band. Having succeeded his father, the late Pipe Major David Bone, under Chris' leadership, the band has become one of the most well thought of in the country, with an impressive record and achievement. I think we can all agree on that, can't we? He has a very impressive. The band have twice won world championships, claiming the honour in 2016 and 2020, and also secured victories at the European, British and Scottish championships, alongside countless and other major competitions, success and accolades at the local level. Beyond competition, the band's reputation has taken them far and wide, including a tour of China, performances alongside the Scottish Fiddle Orchestra, and a rare privilege of playing for the late Queen Elizabeth II and the Duke of Edinburgh, as well as Prince Charles, now His Majesty the King and Queen Camilla. I think, again, that's a fantastic achievement to do that. Alongside this, Chris has always been very eager to keep the band as a community-facing organisation here in Troon, playing regularly at church parades, TCC gala days, and several other events within the town. For 3 decades, Chris has given up his time tirelessly every week, mentoring, teaching, leading by example for hundreds of young men in Troon who have come through the band, all the while asking for nothing in return. His service has been instrumental in developing young pipers, drummers for generation, and maintaining the band's place at a very top of competitive piping. Chris is a fantastic candidate for the Troon Civic Award and would make an excellent Citizen of the Year. I think we all owe him a big round of applause. I now have the happy task of presenting Francis Carson, our chairperson, to present Chris with his award.
I'd just like to say thank you very much for attending and very well done to Chris Bone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thoroughly well deserved, and for anyone who's followed the band for any length of time, you'll know that was the most Chris has ever stood in front of the audience without playing in his entire career. I would say, though, that there certainly isn't anybody more deserving, but Chris doesn't do it alone. We know that. I've already said that we've got Mrs. Broadley here, Mrs. Innes at the back, and there are two instructors for our next item, which are the junior band. Now, these guys are the future of the BB band. It normally takes about 3 years for a boy to progress from learning the chanter all the way to being in the senior band. And they are led by Callum Thompson with the funny hair and Neil Bruce down the front here. They are going to perform their competition-winning set, which many of them actually performed yesterday for the very first time in public at the BB competition, and I'm very pleased to say that they came first. They'll play their competition set, followed by Mary's Wedding and the Brown-Haired Maiden. well done to the younger guys there. That was excellent. I'd now like to welcome the senior band back on, although obviously they are not ready just yet, which I should have seen that one coming. I would just say now, though, that it's not just the instructors, and over the years, there's been many fantastic instructors, and I think of the amount of people who have helped the younger guys at the beginning, Pipe Major David Bowen and Jane Hamilton. I can see Alan Appleby and Jack Innes for the drummers, and Pipe Major David Clark as well. So there's been many, many people helped throughout many, many years, but a special, I think, thank you goes to the parents as well, because without the support of the boys' mums and dads, it would never be able to get off the ground. And for some of the junior boys' parents, yesterday when we were at Hutchison Grammar School for their first competition, I could see the kind of gleam in their eye starting to fade away as they realised, oh, how many more of these are there in the year? But it's never too late to start. So if you have a son or a grandson at primary or secondary school age, we'd be more than welcome to bring them along to see if they'd like to try the pipe band in September when the season finishes. Or if you don't have, if your son or grandson isn't in the BBs, certainly feel free to bring them along to that as well. This year, the band are expecting to play at 3 major competitions, as well as several smaller local branch ones and various other events. That'll all culminate in the World Pipe Band Championships at Glasgow Green in August. The boys, when they come on, are going to play the 8th Argyles crossing the River Po and Pipe Major Angus MacDonald. Is there any sign of them in the corridor? No, okay. I missed out Gregor McCulloch as well, who's a instructor for the boys as well. Sorry, Gregor, I just caught you there. Gregor actually, this is off the cuff, Gregor actually, his son was playing the tenor drum as well. So he obviously, again, it's the thing about handsome people, Gregor. We become the pipers, they become the drummers. Really scraping the barrel now, Mrs. Broadley. What can we sing? They're coming. Here they come. Excellent. Are they ready? Yes. Are they coming? Yes? No? Keep going. Okay. What else have we got to say? It's a very stressful affair organising a concert, and in any pipe band event, but particularly the concert, it takes a lot out of Chris. With all the boys playing at different levels and having to come together, mixing with the piano, sometimes with different instruments in previous years, it is a tremendous amount of work. And we also have a selection of brothers in the band, and the uniforms, we're in the process of getting new kilts, is that right, Fiona? And there's been a wee bit of chopping and changing of kilts, like, oh, can you go home and try your brother's kilt on, please, along those kind of lines. I don't know if that's of any interest to anyone, but I won't be volunteering to host next year. The tartan we wear is the muted McNaughton tartan. You can't actually see it, though. Chosen by Chris's late mother, apparently. This is, right, okay. Thank you very much to the Provost and the Deputy Provost for joining us. You'll also be, I think they'll have been particularly happy that they got to come to an event without having to do anything, without having to present an award. But I think we're very welcome to have, we're very glad to have you. I'm going to have to just do my thank yous now, because this is even for me, I'm not bad, I don't mind presenting events or speaking at things, but even for me, this is getting a wee bit too much filler. There are also tea and coffees available after the concert. I'd like to say no, I'm not going to do the thank yous. But please do join us through in the back hall for tea and coffee after, especially to the people who are up the top there who have decided to sit up the back. Thank you as well to everyone who chose to round up their £6 ticket to £10 as well. That was very much appreciated. You don't get anything extra for it, but it was very good of you. This is probably was this our biggest fundraiser, most significant fundraiser of the year? Oh, the coffee morning. Yes, the coffee morning that we normally have is normally in January, but it's in September this year, and it's a great event as well. Many of you have probably been before. There's not much more to say about a coffee morning. But is that oh yes, there's the door opening. Is that? Hey! It's all right, gentlemen, we've not been waiting on you. next bit right down, since I think we've heard enough from me already. But the next tune we're going to play is called The Call to the Gathering by Don Bradford. It's a complex musical suite which features different time signatures. It's quite a tricky one for the boys to learn. With a solo from Alex McMinn and a duet from Alex McMinn and Nathan Shaw, this is Don Bradford's Call to the Gathering.
Thank you.
A bit of a change of pace there with two tunes called The Red Fox and Mozart on the Rampage. Since they are now standing on the stage and not off the stage, I'll do the wee filler bit that I was going to do if they'd been taking any longer to come back on, Fiona. But it was just to say that before we get to the closings, that it's not just all the instructors and the parents and the entourage and everybody that does so much work to help the band. It is the boys themselves, and in a kind of time where young people don't really do a lot out anymore, it's great to see so many of them still here out practicing every single week. They really are a credit to themselves, their mums and dads, and to Christopher. Big round of applause for the boys. And that, I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our concert this afternoon. Again, thank you to everybody for coming. It was really great to see so many of you out on this rainy day. To all the instructors and helpers, the ladies through the back with the tea and coffee, please do join us for the tea and coffee. To the Provost and Deputy Provost, thank you all for coming. And no piping concert would be complete without this next tune. It's played at Murrayfield and all over the world, and many people think that it should be our national anthem. So with a solo from Jack Tudor, this is Highland Cathedral.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to join us for teas and coffees, you could please make your way through the doors either to my right or to my left. It'll take you into the halls. Thank you.